Hello dear learners, this is Dr. Sedupati, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. This video explores about the sources of data and big data, which is one of the important topic comes under big data analytics. So, learning objectives for the today's discussion is like understanding the origin and the nature of structured, semi-structured and unstructured data, discovers several traditional sources of data used in transactional systems, identify modern sources of big data such as IoT devices, social media and machine learns, compare and contrast data generation patterns in traditional versus big data environments, and recognize the implications of source types on data processing techniques. And so introduction to data sources. How we get those type of huge data. Data is basically generated in every human and machine interaction, from bank transaction to browsing websites. Data sources are broadly classified on the basis of format, volume, and structure. Understanding the data sources is essential to determine storage architecture, tools used, and analytics approaches. Basically, traditional systems deal with smaller, structured data sets, while modern ecosystems generate massive and varied data. And there are few traditional data sources like transaction databases, which are used in banking, retail, reservation, and billing systems, and data warehouses, which are actually aggregated historical data mainly used in business intelligence and analytics, and web forms and survey data, which is actually generated from user entered data in HTML forms and survey tools, and enterprise resource systems, which handle HR, finance, customer support, and so on, and basic sensor devices generated data, limited telemetry data like temperature or motion detection devices. And what are actually big data sources? As per definition, big data is the 5 V's, which is volume, velocity, variety, veracity, and value, and which includes the data from non-traditional, high-frequency, and complex environment. Data are generated in real time or near real time, often unstructured and complex. And data source requires scalable systems like Hadoop, Spark, and cloud technologies. Basically, big data sources require these kind of tools to handle and analysis type of data. And coming to key sources of big data, there are plenty of key sources which are generating big data. Let's see one by one. Social media is the first one, which we can say like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube videos, Instagram videos, and so there are plenty of social media devices. Tools are nowadays generating large amount of big data sources. And coming to sensors and IoT devices, which are implemented in smart cities, GPS devices, RFIDs, and so on. And clickstream data, which is actually tracks website navigation, and the data is generated from mobile devices like app usage and location data. And coming to multimedia content. So basically, multimedia contents are generated surveillance videos, mobile camera videos, and so on. Coming to logs and server data, which are like system and application logs, and e-commerce activities like purchases data, cart additional data, and so on. And from healthcare devices like wearables and medical imaging generated huge amount of data, which are all comes under key sources of big data. And there is a small comparison between traditional data versus big data sources. Basically, traditional data sources store organized data in a small amount using SQL, like in banking or ERP systems, whereas big data sources handle huge amounts of unstructured or semi-structured data, like from Facebook, Amazon, or IoT sensors, which cannot be managed by traditional or regular tools. And thank you, dear learners, for your patient listening. Data basically comes in many forms. Traditional systems work well for small, organized data, whereas big data sources are vast, varied, and growing rapidly. So, understanding data sources help in choosing the right tools for data analytics. Thank you once again, dear learners.